My lords, I'm not me, or at least a clone of their voice, and welcome to the 6th episode of the Final Contingency. As you can see, the first trade convoy is setting off from the Sun habitat to the Wayfinders. Interstellar trade continues to grow. Bourne has completed his investigation of the Cybrex base in the Kjolunvar system. At the center of the now destroyed installation, debris from a large non-Cybrex vessel has been discovered. The crew of the Knots Nirvana speculate that this ship belonged to one of the organic civilizations the Cybrex were at war with, and that it was deliberately sent to collide with and destroy the base in a suicide attack. This suggests that the victims of the Cybrex crusade were forced to resort to desperate measures in order to survive, if they survived at all. In any case, this survey has proven useful in expanding our understanding of the Cybrex and their wars. A new alien space station has been detected in the Aphthodes system to the southeast. It appears to be home to another station-dwelling species, similar to the Mutagan Merchant Guild or the Curators. Unfortunately, the station seems to be in imminent danger, as it lies near the southern border of the Iron Ring. We cannot yet say how the Nagyari will respond to these newcomers, but if their treatment of their own citizens is any indication, it will not be pleasant. While translation of the species is still underway, Holdings leadership is already considering rapid expansion toward the system. We will see how this develops. Some news from behind, future enemy lines. Ahai, the corporate intelligence agent operating inside the Iron Ring, has received some assistance. With the help of their ship's science officers, they have created a custom AI assistant to process the enormous amount of data inherent in their work. It promises to be a valuable asset to our intelligence network and to EHI personally. Since I've already mentioned the Mutagen, it's worth highlighting a new deal Holding has struck with them. In exchange for a monthly transfer of credits, they will provide us with a steady stream of rare crystals. While not a groundbreaking arrangement, it is an important step in deepening our corporate ties with them and lays the groundwork for future agreements. Besides, since we currently lack the means to extract rare crystals ourselves, this will suffice for now. Breaking news. An unidentified object has entered Alpha Centauri's gravity well. The object, which appears to be an enormous alien vessel of unknown origin, was detected by a holding outpost within the system. It has not responded to hails or warnings from our space traffic controllers, though it is unclear whether its crew can even understand us or whether their vessel possesses compatible communication systems at all. The ship is moving at 1/3 the speed of light and is heading toward Alpha Centauri 4, a habitable alpine world. Its intentions remain unclear. It may land, orbit, or even crash into the planet. For now, Holding has chosen to adopt a policy of observation, since the only alternative would be to try to stop the vessel by force. Updates will follow as the situation develops. I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure how to explain this, but at the very least, I can say that the situation with the Infinity machine has been resolved. The machine's AI contacted the Vitality to inform the crew that its calculations had been completed. It expressed gratitude for their help in calculating infinity. We do not fully understand what it meant. After all, infinity is not a number and cannot be meaningfully calculated, but the crew were glad to assist. As a reward, the machine promised to show us the truth. Without elaboration, it bid farewell and began to move, by means unknown, into the black hole it had been studying. As it neared and then crossed the event horizon, the black hole underwent rapid, unexplainable changes. It began to draw in less and less light and matter, until, as the Infinity machine vanished beyond the boundary, it began to emit both instead. The object has not become a white hole, however, as its surface remains black, though now semi-transparent. The crew of the Vitality can actually see inside, where some kind of new space appears to be forming. Tracker, astonished, admits to having no definitive explanation, but speculates that the Infinity machine has transformed the black hole into a portal to some kind of mirror universe. Needless to say, this phenomenon lies far outside our current understanding of science. The black hole has now been officially renamed from Gargantua to Pantagruel, and researchers are eager to establish a station in the system to study it. Whatever its nature, this promises to be a gateway to unprecedented knowledge. What a wild galaxy we live in. Holding's leadership has made a potentially risky decision regarding the pre-FTL civilization in the LIST system. As you may recall, these aliens are in an early space age and may soon develop hyperdrive technology. Ordinarily, this would be cause for quiet observation. The problem lies in their location. The LIST system sits along a chain of hyperlanes leading to the galactic north, including our uncolonized northern territory. There is no alternative route. If the LIST civilization achieves FTL and later chooses to close its borders, Holding would lose access to this critical corridor. To mitigate that risk, leadership has decided to break with precedent and reveal our presence to them in the hope of cultivating positive relations before they reach the stars. Normally, we avoid contact with pre-FTL civilizations, since exposure can destabilize their development. But in this case, the shareholders were unwilling to gamble our expansion on patience. The reception was mixed. Many suspected the existence of aliens already, and some responded with curiosity rather than hostility. Yet the immense technological disparity has left many suffering from a kind of stellar cultural shock, limiting the effectiveness of our diplomacy. What shocked us in turn was the discovery that this civilization is not new at all. They are Pain, the same species as the Pain Commonwealth. After consultation with the Commonwealth, we learned the truth. Centuries ago, before they discovered the hyperlanes, the Pains sent a colony ship through a wormhole at the edge of their system. The wormhole collapsed after the ship passed through, and the Pains assumed it was lost. In reality, the colonists had resettled in the LIST system and developed in isolation. For now, we in the Commonwealth have agreed not to reveal this to the LIST Pain, as the revelation would only intensify their cultural shock. This is not quite the outcome Holding hoped for, but it leaves open the possibility of diplomacy in the future. We have successfully translated the language of the aliens in the Aphothity system, and in record time. Practice seems to have sharpened the Discovery Division's translation department considerably. These aliens call themselves the Artisan Troupe. Dedicated to art, music, and culture, they aim to share their creations with the galaxy. To support their mission, and naturally, to showcase our discovery, Andromeda has purchased a unique art piece for display in Not Holding's headquarters on the Sun habitat. We have also become patrons by donating resources to their organization. The Tradiarchs are becoming noticeably more cultured indeed. The unidentified ship bound for Alpha Centauri 4 has made planetfall. From all appearances, it was a colossal colony ship, far larger than necessary for such a mission. Its inhabitants have begun establishing a settlement on the planet and appear either unaware of or indifferent to our prior claim on the system. Using intercepted communications, we have already translated their language and arranged a meeting with their leader. We tune in now to that meeting. Looks like we have a new planet. The Bulu, a humanoid amphibian species, have colonized it with our retroactive blessing, so we now have control over the planet. With the planet's asteroid field making it a great place for mining, we'll likely build this place up as a center of raw resource extraction. The Bulu themselves have lots of skill-based traits, so we'll make good leaders and scientists. They'll make a fine addition to our growing corporate empire. Of course, they'll have full citizenship and rights, and will get to do anything a Tradiarch would do. This has been a very unusual turn of events, but certainly not an unwelcome one. While we're talking about citizens, it's time to make a change to our people's living standards. Previously, we had given Tradiarchs decent conditions, but now that we have a new planet's worth of resources, and have built up more consumer goods factories on the Sun habitat, we can change that to something a bit more useful. We are now switching to academic privilege. which is to say, more resources are going to go to the most educated members of our society. This will boost our scientific endeavors, and will make these specialists more happy, but will make lower workers and unemployed individuals unhappy. This downside isn't surprising, since this is essentially taking resources that would previously go to other strata and divert them to the educated middle class. But if it will help our corporation in the long run, you can't really complain. I mean, you can, but this isn't a democracy, so we won't listen. Sorry. There's been a new advancement for the pre-FTL civilization on Basteron, although this one is a little abstract. Based on observations from the Sociology Division, a new religion has swept across the native Utsuchi. Its primary focus seems to be on ending a cycle of reincarnation via various ascetic behaviors in order to achieve inner peace. The only tangible consequence this has had is that the majority of the population is now spiritualist, which may be unfortunate if they ever meet us properly, since we have rejected those kinds of things. Let's hope they see the light of empiricism in the future. More progress on the Wayfinder front. We now have a migration treaty with them. It's always nice to see diplomacy in action. After the success of Robbot's Commerce Division, Andromeda has been planning to create another new division, one that would secure Holdings' diplomatic and economic gains from the recent years. The first step towards achieving this happened on the 4th of June 2226, when Andromeda split the previous Public Relations Division into two, with the previous division focusing on PR inside Holdings space put under a new leader, the Head of Relations. The new division, the Exo Public Relations Division, is also under the Head of Relations, and focuses on PR outside Holdings space. Think of Exo Public Relations like a dedicated diplomatic corps, except using more corporate means. Hopefully, this will cement our position in the universe as a powerhouse of diplomacy. In order to facilitate further cooperation with the Curator Order, the outpost in the Kalen system, where the Order is located, has been upgraded into a full-size starport. With this new space, Holding has built many facilities to utilize the local opportunities and resources, including a Curator think tank. This research center will focus exclusively on working with the curators and deciphering their knowledge, which will bring a great boost to our scientific research. While the leaders of Holding have developed many skills and traits over the years working in their unique environments, it isn't a surprise that some of them may be detrimental. Recent reports from Ibater's co-workers suggest that they have developed into a micromanager. They aren't letting anyone operate within the Synchron machine fleet without going through them, and are demanding to have the final say over every minute decision, which is hampering their ability to operate at scale. This development, while unwelcome, isn't exactly a surprise when you consider Ibater's history. They joined Holding as the captain of a ship in Not Incorporated's defense fleet, and in that role, this kind of focus on the little details likely did them a lot of good. But now, as they are commander of an entire fleet, it is becoming a hindrance. Let's hope Ibater can learn to let go, or their subordinates may just have to learn to live with it. Borin and the Knots Nirvana have made a new, amazing discovery. In the system of Helm, close to Alpha Centauri, Borin's team had uncovered strange readings coming from Helm 2, a barren world. After thorough expeditions throughout the planet's caverns, they have discovered a specially made vault. Inside were countless alien artifacts, preserved in an inert atmosphere. The artifacts were from many different unknown alien cultures, and some appear to be millions of years old. After fully tagging and cataloging their finds, Borin has handed them off to the Sociology Division, to be studied for any historical or cultural significance. The idea of selling what could be sold on the open market was floated, but ultimately, more worth would be gotten from studying them instead of selling. Borin has certainly been proving his worth so far. With all this new interstellar traffic, Andromeda has become something of an expert in managing space traffic, or at least devising rules and regulations for space traffic controllers. It's not really their job to do this, but it has come up so often that they've learned a lot about it. With Andromeda's new expertise, space traffic is moving faster than ever through Holding space. Tracker has finally made their way to the Dondui system in order to begin investigating the relic world of Dondui 5. This planet is a high priority for colonization, but we can't settle it without understanding what happened on this carcass of a city planet, lest we risk their fate becoming ours. Tracker and the Knots Night Fortress are going to excavate sections of the planet and organize expeditions until they determine what happened to leave this place a ghost town, and then the colony ships can begin their work of claiming it for us. Elsewhere, the Discovery Division continues to grow in capability. Bracer and the Round Engine, while surveying a system, uncovered an ancient refueling station for starships. While recovery or salvage proved too dangerous due to the gravitational field of the gas giant it orbited, they were able to study its design from afar. Not only has its design given us greater insight into advanced ship designs, but it has also revealed something about Bracer. They seem to have a knack for voidcraft design, so much so that you could say it's now their expertise. With that finished, Bracer and their crew can now resume resume and finish the survey. The first piece of news from our new colony on Alpha Centauri 4 is, unfortunately, not good, although it could have been worse. A coronal mass ejection from the system's star nearly struck the planet. It had been missed by sensors on the outpost in orbit of the star and on the colony. So, if it had hit, there wouldn't have been any warning for the Bulu. This type of solar phenomena would have caused damage similar to a planet-wide EMP, dealing serious and, in some cases, irreparable damage to a variety of electronic systems. This alone would have likely caused thousands of deaths, as planes would fall out of the sky, hospital equipment would fail, and a million other devices necessary for civilization to function would be fried. Luckily, that didn't happen. For the Bulu, who have already been threatened by civilization-ending stellar phenomena before, this was still a traumatic event that could have reduced their species numbers even lower. If there's any silver lining to all this, it's that this has created a sort of fight-or-flight response in many Bulu that have led them to attempt to rapidly increase their numbers. The thinking being that if their species had the population to colonize more worlds, this kind of thing wouldn't affect them as much. Quite an interesting response for sure, but if it increases the number of customers we have, we can't complain. Speaking of potential disasters, if you ever wondered if we had destroyed all the hostile mining drones in the galaxy, I'll answer that now. No, we haven't. A while ago, survey ships had discovered another group of them in the Klendoth system, close to what is now our border with the Alakasan Unified Nations. Now Iba Otter and the Synchron Machine Fleet have gone in to deal with them. This isn't like last time, however, as not only do we have 20 meteorite ships, but also 5 of the new asteroid-class destroyers. It isn't even close. The fleet destroyed the drones before they can even break through our shields, and another possible threat to the Tradiarchs is neutralized. After a lengthy process, the outpost station in Alpha Centauri has finally been upgraded into a full-sized starport, capable of hosting the facilities to support a newly settled colony. If this had been finished a few months earlier, maybe we would have detected that coronal mass ejection, but I digress. In it, there are now brand new plazas, markets, and recreational facilities to support the system's economy, an immigration facility to allow Tradiarchs from the Sun habitat to migrate to Alpha Centauri 4, and construction complexes to aid in developing the planet. At the same time, the Sun Station has also been upgraded from a starport into a starhold, essentially just a bigger starport. Its asteroid mining teams have been given more room to expand, commercial activity aboard the station has been improved, and construction companies now have bases on it to support the habitat's further growth. Development continues. Ibater, Admiral of the Synchron Machine Fleet and head of Holdings Asset Protection Department, has begun an intriguing initiative. They have begun to focus on hiring and training pilots for use in fighter spacecraft. This is a little unusual, as fighters are primarily seen as defensive in nature, since they are deployed from hangars aboard space station. Asset Protection does not have any ships capable of launching fighters for use in offensive operation, as the logistical strain is too much for any one ship to bear. Still, Ibator appears to be hopeful that such a ship will be developed eventually, and that their use will be a key part of naval strategy in the future. I suppose we will have to wait to see if they are correct. Let's hope their micromanaging tendencies don't get in the way. And with that, I think we'll leave off. So, be sure to tune in next time for another episode of The Final Contingency. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Wow.